LGBT families are living in our communities, and some are fortunate to be living in very welcoming and inclusive communities, but we can't take that for granted. Some are living in unwelcoming, inhospitable, and even hostile communities. So what can we as professionals do to help these families, to improve the quality of their lives? Whether we're school administrators, principals, the police, mental health providers, medical providers, or run some type of community service organization. What can we do to help LGBT families in our communities? Well, before we continue, if you haven't yet taken the LGBT family demographic quiz, also available on the site, I strongly urge you to go there first. See what you know and possibly don't know about these families. Otherwise, let's talk about 3 core principles to understand when approaching these families. First involves community disclosure. Not all families are out in their community. Some families are out to everybody and every organization, and some families are completely hidden about their identity. Most fall somewhere between these 2 extremes. So we can't take it for granted that these families are out. Number 2, many families lack support and allies in their communities. Actually, a common complaint is they feel isolated in their communities, not only from their local community, but from the LGBT movement in general. And principle number 3, LGBT families are families. And as such, they're going to have the same problems, the same issues that traditional families might have. Substance abuse, mental health problems, financial problems, domestic abuse. The challenge for these families is that their resources in the community might be much, much less than for traditional families. And they also fear that by reaching out into the community for help, they might be outing themselves. So with these 3 principles in mind, what can we do to improve the quality of lives for these families? Principle number 1, we need to educate ourselves, our peers, our communities, and our organizations that these families exist, that they are in our communities, and that there's a great amount of diversity occurring within these families. Suggestion number 2, we need to create welcoming organizations. We need organizations that are safe, respectful, and are staffed by individuals who understand LGBT and LGBT family needs. And suggestion number 3, we need to be allies for these families. That means a mindset of inclusion, a mindset of tolerance, and a mindset of accepting, of challenging our own assumptions and beliefs. But it also means behaviors such as fighting against discrimination and supporting these families. These 3 suggestions are by no means comprehensive, and there's a lot more that can and needs to be done. But by implementing just these 3 suggestions, we've gone a long way towards improving the quality of lives for LGBT families.